God says, I want you to forget the odds. Forget them. Ignore them. You and God are enough. That's the message. You and God are enough. You've got to ignore the why nots. I've got a dentist at the moment who is a fantastic dentist, but he's also one of the most pessimistic men I've ever met in my life. And I have to tell you, that's not what you really want as a characteristic of your dentist. So as he's looking through things and going through he's generally like, oh, that looks bad. This is literally how he speaks. Oh, that's not good. And there's been one particular procedure where he said, look, it can be done, but I don't really want to do it. This is literally what he said to me. It's an extraction. Now, I can send you to a specialist. I would not... Your mouth. And I said, look, a lot of people would certainly support you on my mouth. For reasons. But... And I finally had to get him to do something. And you know what? He's really good. Because to that point, I just took his advice and done nothing about it. He had to do something. He's actually really good. But he's a why-notter. And I'm a why-notter. I tend to think about what could go wrong. You know, and unfortunately, it is a bit of the legal mindset. That's the mentality. What could possibly go wrong? Well, you know what? There's a lot that could go wrong every time. But God brought the people here at flood stage to show them all the why nots. And say, forget that. I'm going to take you across. And these things, whatever they may be, within our lives, let me suggest a couple of things. Perhaps, as disciples, we say, well, yeah, you know, if God really wants me to have such an impact, why am I like the way I am? Flood stage. Flood stage. That's what I think a lot of times. God, you know, why'd you make me quite like this? Might be amusing for people, but you know. Maybe it's a vision of our church. So this is our little group. Can we really have an impact? Just this little, well, we've already seen where the tentacles, where things are, have been, and can be. It's flood stage. We can. Yes, we can. To steal something from the last decent American president. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Maybe we're there thinking, who will I marry? Now, if you're already married, and you responded to that, we've got a special room out the back for discussion. Yeah, I know that Mel and Jake and Dante and Victoria, they're not worried about that right now. But you know, for me, and perhaps my son and the preteens, and if you're maybe not thinking that, but you think, where can I find a godly relationship? I mean, it just seems, oh, well, we did see there's about, 700 teens over there, and there's, but right here and now, it's flood stage. And it's really easy to let your fear control your faith. Don't let your fear control your faith. Maybe it's reaching our family. Maybe it's family that's so dear to us that have been, that we're continuing to try to reach. Maybe it's family we've not at all. Whatever stage it is. I can't explain the flood stage. And some of our circumstances, I would never stand and say, I will tell you why it's flood stage. But I know that flood stage exists because God says, I want to show you something incredible. When I came to church about 30 years ago, I started studying. My friend, who was my soulmate, she absolutely hated church and just about everything about it. And I thought, why God are you doing this? Why are you sort of messing with my life in this way, and yet I'm finding extraordinary things on the other side? Now I just wonder, can any of you recognise this man? Not this man over here, I didn't recognise, but the one to his left. Anybody? Yes, I know you will. Yes.
My ex-roommate.
It is your ex-roommate.
You want me to give it?
Yeah, give it. I think
his name is Jason.
Jason Golding. Now, do many of you know? Do you know Jason Golding? Okay. Did you not see it the first time, but see it now, perhaps? I don't know. But again, just a little story of how extraordinary God can be. So after I studied the Bible, and about 6 months had gone through, and I became a disciple, 6 months went by, and my friend was like, well, it seems like things have changed a bit in your life. You know, and I know how messed up you were before, and I really know how messed up you were before. So she came back, Jodie Golding, many of us will know, and she studied the Bible, became a Christian. And Jason, of course, is a wonderful husband. And Geordie just ran into them, because they had disciples down in Canberra, ran into them on the way to the Red Centre for a private school, for a school time at Uluru. So, and he sent me this straight away and said, do you remember this person? And yeah, I remember it. I remember it because it was a miracle. It's a miracle that I thank God for. Yeah. And they've got a wonderful, wonderful family down there. So, yeah. So ignore the odds. Thirdly, get your feet wet. Now this is something extraordinary about this story, isn't it?